Hello, hello, and welcome. We are 9 little Aussies living in the USA, building a home where we all belong. Where gardens are cultivated, real food is celebrated, agrarian living is reclaimed, where we choose to walk with wonder and faith, eyes wide open to the beauty of life. Where stories and rhyme are a tether that anchor our hearts to the ancient landmarks our fathers have left for our learning, and where all weary souls may find comfort and rest. It is a grand undertaking, perhaps, but a profoundly simple one. I invite you to join us as we reach for the stars with our feet firmly rooted in love and God's good earth. Hey there, so today is one of the first big work days back in the garden in preparation for the spring. We are prepping beds right now that in this footage you're watching for potatoes. So the little ones were taking wheelbarrows full for quite a while, and then my husband took over and did the rest of them to top all these beds with compost out of the chook pen. I tell you, it is the best way to build compost, I think. It's so efficient and you get beautiful, rich compost for your beds. And here, of course, we are having our first battle with the fire ants. It has begun. Just pouring boiling water over the top of it, which honestly isn't like super efficient. It does kill them or make them move on, but they tend to just rebuild somewhere else. So one thing I am interested in is we've read about some good nematodes you can plant in the garden to prevent fire ants. Has anybody heard about that? And have you had success? I would be very interested to know.
Hey man, we've put in this San Houston peach, which is supposed to do well in this area, hopefully better than the last ones we put in.
So the Sam Houston also has the lowest freeze hours for it to fruit. So a lot of time peaches need higher hours of cold and frost to fruit, and this has only 500 hours. So that's why it produces well around here, allegedly.
That's what they say. So that one.
And then what are these fellas here?
This is our garlic, which if we get a harvest, it will be
Only of God.
Because it has been dug up and replanted.
Thrice.
I think it's actually about 5 times, because the chickens have got in here, or the dogs have got in here, or whatever. So
What's this beautiful green tree?
so our elderberries are just starting to sprout back.
Ah, yes.
So we've got 3 elderberries. I think that might be a different variety because it looks and grows quite different to these 2.
Right. I think you might be right. Is it true that even though we're in the middle of February, that it is still possible we might have a frost because our last frost date isn't until March?
Yeah, I think it's mid to late March is our average last frost date. So I guess it just depends what this year does. But I have heard on the local, gardeners' pages, they're all saying that we'll probably get another frost.
All right.
So I don't know.
So you've got garlic all down here.
Yes, and hodgepodge and unevenly planted.
What's this?
And so this is where our very creative 13-year-old, has attempted to set up a drainage system because during big storms, this whole end of the property, like all across this end of the yard, floods and it doesn't drain off and it stays there for days. So he's put a couple of pipes out to under the fence over there to drain off that way so it won't pool here. So
Just going to pause for a second because Matilda and Cleo are playing. They're headbutting. She's getting practice. Matilda is teaching Cleo. And obviously, Cleo just wants to play. Back to this.
So we're gonna hope that works, and he's made a little triangle garden sort of in behind it and on top of it, and put extra mulch on top. So I'm really proud of him for trying that.
What's this fella? It's shooting.
That's another elderberry. There's one here and one there. Second elderberry, but you can see the difference in size because I planted that one. Let me see. Not last fall, the fall before, is that right? Or the spring before?
It's 2 years old.
So this one hasn't been in the ground as long, is what it is. And then this is a blueberry that we just got.
I love how you painted all the wood chips a different colour.
So these are from our pile of wood chips that has been decomposing for 2 years in the side paddock. This is old pine shavings that we had for animal bedding. And I thought I would put it on there because just to change the pH, because I believe blueberries like a more acidic soil.
Huh.
And pine is acidic.
There you go.
So I didn't know. I almost put these shavings on top of these shavings, but I didn't. Anyway, so that's what that is. And that's just mulch.
And these are the bananas. This year we decided not to do anything to the bananas other than cover them with their leaves.
Yeah.
It's an experiment, but we're not going to cover it yet because of our last frost date being in March.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll come back. Although there was, anyway, yeah, I'm pretty sure they will because it got colder the first year we had them in and they still came back. That's yarrow, so it is doing really well. It's kind of spreading, which is awesome. And this one is the plum tree. It is a methley plum. Prunus salicina methley plum. And it's supposed to do well here in this area. So, yep.
So our local feed store is a husband and wife team, and the great thing about them is they also supply seedlings and trees.
From local growers.
And she's a gardener herself.
Yeah.
So she's recommended both of these trees to start with because she feels like they do grow better in our climate.
Yeah. And I don't know if this one's, I think this might be dead.
What was it?
It was a bay leaf tree, bay leaf tree. But I think the frost might have got that. This is going to come back. You can't see it right now, but it's starting. That's comfrey, so it'll come back. And then our willow tree will come back. And this right here that looks like dead sticks is Thai basil, so I think it'll come back as well. And then that is my hollyhocks, which I'm kind of, again, the chickens have decimated them 2 or 3 times. The last frost was rough on them, but the freeze, not the frost. The frost was fine, but the freeze was a little bit tough on them. And so I'm hoping that they'll come back and maybe flower this year. We'll see.
I noticed you've got something unique growing on the other side of that fence. What is that? Is that...
You smarty pants.
What?
You're talking about the old door that was used for shade cloth and got left out?
Maybe. It just looks beautiful. It's the Australian way, isn't it?
So artistic. This is Dad and Dave's farm, remember? We can't be looking too neat and tidy.
Our poor friends in America, do they even know what Dad and Dave is?
No, but there'll be some Aussie out there who knows what I'm talking about.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on our little adventure. Do you have anything to say?
No, it's time for dinner.
It is time for dinner. Big day today. Big work day. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us tonight, and we bless you. We ask that you pray for us and continue to pray that we adjust to the climate, the culture, and all things gardening in America.
As you may know, I like to share quotes or passages from books I have read that have moved or changed me in some way. Words have the power to create, transform, or build something beautiful in our lives, but they also have the power to destroy. That is why the words we both speak, hear, and read matter so very much. If you choose the good, the true, and the beautiful to permeate your inner world, your outer world will reflect that choice. The greatest words of all were the words of life spoken by Jesus Christ. They are words of life and hope. God also gave us the gift of words. May these words bless you today. For some hours he sat there in the sun, and whether it was the warmth of it, or the sight of the wide plain beneath stretching away to blue and distant mountains, or the mere passage of time, or the divine providence for the soul that is distressed, he could not say, but there was some rising of the spirit, some lifting of the fear. The voice shook and beat and trembled, not as the voice of an old man shakes and beats and trembles, nor as a leaf shakes and beats and trembles, but as a deep bell when it is struck. For it was not only a voice of gold, but it was the voice of a man whose heart was golden, reading from a book of golden words. And the people were silent, and Kamalo was silent, for when are three such things found in one place together? Alan Paton in Cry the Beloved Country.
Hey there, I am planting potatoes. So we did some work out here yesterday preparing these beds. So we've taken compost from the chook pen where they have been building and creating it for us for the last 6 months or so. I'm just placing them on top for now, and then I'm going to dig them in. I find that easier than trenching. Some people like to trench, whatever, both work. And we will see. We bought a big sack. We're doing way more potatoes this year than we did the last 2 years, and haven't put them here before, but we've built these beds up. I created that bed, you might remember last year I had garlic in it. This year we're putting potatoes there. Last year I had all kinds of greens and capsicums and herbs and basil and like different things down here, and grew on the trellises. So I'm still going to use the trellises later when it warms up, but for now I'm just putting potatoes down the bottom, and we will see how they do. It's been warm the last few days, but I think it's the 12th of February today, so it's still winter. It's funny. I have been on let me put you down. I have been on some of the local gardening Facebook pages and groups. I like to, I'm pretty new to this area. So I'm new to America. So I like to glean local knowledge wherever I can. And it's so fun watching everyone's getting ready to plant their potatoes. And there's lots of different, folklore, generational knowledge that's been handed down, and some people have said, we always plant on Valentine's Day. Others have said, no, my grandpa said you'll always do the week before Valentine's Day. And everyone's grandma or grandpa or mima or papa or whatever they say
has this knowledge or advice that they have handed down on when to plant. And it varies, but it's very similar, I would say, within a couple of weeks of each other. And the cool thing about that is I feel like it shows that there is still quite a lot of generational knowledge of gardening, at least, that is still here and not completely lost, that it has been handed down. I don't know that in my experience in Australia that was the case. That was more rare. Maybe it's just that there's more people here. There's a lot of things like that. There's a lot of things that I hear in conversation and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Is that, I don't remember ever hearing that, or maybe, but there's just a lot more people here. So then there's a lot more activity on things like Facebook groups. So I don't know, it could just be that. But now-ish seems to be the time to plant potatoes, and so we're getting them in the ground. Okay, 4 rows done. Jumpers off, 2 rows to go. Hello, it is a few days later. Actually, it's more than that. It is almost 2 weeks. I think it's about 10 or 12 days after we planted all those potatoes. And so I thought I would show you, just as I'm wrapping up the editing of this video. I realized I didn't say goodbye or anything, but they're just starting to sprout. We've been watering them. We had one really nice good storm after that planting day, and now they're all popping up their little heads. You can probably hear, I'm afraid it's a bit noisy. One of our neighbours has an excavator operating in their backyard, and it is not that far away and very noisy. But hopefully it won't be long, and we will have lots of potatoes swelling up and growing underneath the warm earth as it starts to turn into spring. It really has warmed up quite a bit here in the last few days, the last week or two, and I think it's going to continue to warm up. I don't know. We haven't been here long enough to know. We may still get another couple of cold spells, but it is lovely to get in the garden and put your hands back in the soil and then watch beautiful green things popping their heads up. It really is awesome. Makes me so excited for the garden this year. I'm really looking forward to it. Let me know if you're growing potatoes. And we are growing these ones, the red variety. I can't remember the name of them. I'll try and look that up. But we were told they're the ones that grow best here, and it just so happens the red ones are the ones we love. So I shall see you again soon, friends. Sunshine and raindrops. Until then.